Guys, welcome to this channel once again. My name is Emmanuel, and in today's session, I'm going to be teaching us how to create sales invoice using QuickBooks. All right, QuickBooks is an accounting software. It's one of the widely used accounting software in the world. All right, so how to create sales invoice in QuickBooks. All right, so there are two ways of doing this. It's either right here on the screen. You can see this create invoice. It's either you click on this create invoice or you go to the customer menu, right? You go to the customer menu. So when you get to the customer menu, you click on it. When you click on the customer menu, all right, you will look for create invoice. When you see create invoice, you click on it. It will display a dialog box, right? A dialog box will be displayed, and on this dialog box there are series of options that you can navigate. All right, so the first thing that you would want to do is to select the customer that you are creating this invoice for. All right, the customer that you are creating this invoice for. So once you click on this button here, the list of all the customers that have been created on this system, all right, on this QuickBooks will display. So we have here Com Sales and we have AE Trade. All right, so I want to create or raise this invoice for Com Sales. So once I click on Com Sales, all right, the billing address will also display, provided that it was entered or created at the point of creating this customer. All right, the next thing is I want to choose the right dates. Make sure that the rate date is correct. Today is 18th of February, and the invoice number will keep updating automatically for you. So this is like the second invoice that has been raised. That is why you are saying invoice number 2. Yeah, all right, that is why you are saying invoice number 2. So the next thing to do is to select the item. Which item do I want to sell? The first thing, I want to sell Don Simon. How many? I want to sell about 12. You put the quantity. You can see we have item column, we have quantity, we have description, we have we have rate, we have class, and we have amounts. The most important columns here, they are the what? The item, the quantity, description, yeah, but not 100% necessary. All right, the rate and the amounts. All right, the rate, the amount, the item, the quantity. So now I want to sell 20 bottles of Don Simon. So as soon as I put it, automatically the price will display. So each carton is 50,000. All right, and 20 is 1 million naira, so automatically it has displayed. The next item I want to invoice is Lambra. So I go to item and I select Lambra. I want to invoice 10 cartons, right? Lambra is also 50,000. Can you see that the rate is dropping automatically by itself? And that gives us a total of 500,000. And lastly, I also want to invoice Remy Martin. All these are wine products, all right? Wine and spirit product, okay? So I also want to invoice Remy Martin. So Remy Martin is 50,000 naira as well. So, but I want to invoice just because the customer is requesting for just 5, okay? And once you put the quantity, you press enter or you press tab, right? So the amount will update itself. So right now, for Don Simon, I have 1 million. For Lambra, I have 500,000. For Remy Martin, I have 250,000. So the total invoice amount here is 1,750,000. All right. Once you have done this, before you save, just right before you save, there is an option of terms of payments. You know, when you create invoice for customers, there is an option of how long do you want this invoice to stay before it is due. Okay, I know that the default in most softwares is 30 days due, right? But you can as well choose lesser days, let's say net 15 days, or higher days like 60 days. You can choose 30 days as well. So I want to choose this invoice to be due in 30 days. All right. So after doing this, the next thing you would want to do is to click on what? Save and close, provided that you are not creating further invoice. Let's say I want to create another invoice. another sales invoice, I'm going to click on save and new. But I'm not doing that. I'm done creating invoice. So I'm going to click on save and close. So as soon as I click on save and close, this dialog box will close up, right? But before doing that, I want to take you through the list of options that you can navigate, right? After creating this invoice, you have the option of deleting. You also have the option of printing, all right? So if you click on this printing button, you will see the list of options. Do you want to preview it? If you click on this preview, it's going to preview exactly how it will come out, either in A4 or any other size which you have configured it to be, all right? Invoice, batch, packing slip, envelope. You can also save this as PDF, right? Let's say you don't want to send it yet, you can save it as PDF. All right. Another option here is you can also email this invoice. You can email this invoice directly to the customer. All right. So you can also email this invoice. And that is the simple, easy peasy process of creating sales invoice. All right. In QuickBooks. Now that I'm done, I can now come and click on save and close, right? I'll click on save and close. Now it's asking me, would you like to have this new information appear in the next? I say no. So I'm going to save anyway. So um the invoice are saved. Now, whenever you are performing any transaction in QuickBooks, let's say you're raising a sales invoice, you are raising a purchase invoice, you are receiving funds, you are making payments, and you hear that noise, all right, just know that it has saved. So this is the process of creating sales invoice. Please, if you are here to subscribe to this channel, kindly do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share.